Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to this tutorial of Flask. So in this tutorial we will see how to create a folder structure and all. So first of all I will create one folder as a file structure. So this will be a main repo. I will do one thing, I'll open this repo with the VS Code. So basically I'll be using this VS Code as a code editor. So inside of this I will create two folders and so first of all, I will have the backend over here, and then I will have my front end. So basically over here, I'll be creating the front end with the help of the this vite. I'll be writing the front end with the help of vite. I'll be using the React.js. So for that purpose, I'll do one thing. I'll open the terminal directly. I will directly create repo. So I'll say npm create vite. Okay. So I will give the name of my folder as a front end because my front end will be different. So I'll give the project name as the front end directly, and it will be in the React over here. And I will use JavaScript. So as can be seen, now there is this front end folder, and this is my front end repo, which is basically in the React.js. Okay, so that's all. And this is basically my backend, and my backend will be enough this thing. Python Flask. So inside of this, I will basically have one file called app.py. This is my main entry file inside of the backend. And after that, I will have one src folder over here. So src folder, inside of the src folder, I will have few more folders. I'll maintain the folder structure over here. So I will click on the src and then I will have the con I'll have config over here, and then again I will click on this src and I'll have the controllers, and beside controllers I'll have the models over here, and beside models I will have the services, and then I will have the routes. So basically this is my folder structure. I'll be having this many things inside of my src, and now when it comes to backend, we will have the env. So basically I will create one env. I mean, it's like a virtual environment in which all my packages will be installed. So for that purpose, what I'll do, I will go to the backend folder over here. Okay, so now I'm inside of this backend folder, and inside of this backend folder I will do one thing. I will say python -m, and I will make use of the venv, and I will create one environment name as env. So now when I will hit, it will create one env folder over here, as can be seen. So this is my env folder, so inside of which all my packages will be installed. So I'll make use of this virtual environment. So when I'll be having this virtual environment, I have to activate this virtual environment, and then only I will be able to install the packages inside of this. Okay. So in order to activate this virtual environment, I will say uh, env scripts. Sorry, it's activate.bat. Okay. So basically, this is the command to activate the virtual environment in Windows. So once your virtual environment has been activated, you will see this env over here. Okay. Before your file structure, I mean file path. And if you want to activate this virtual environment in this thing Mac or Ubuntu and all, so there is this different command, and it is basically env bin activate. Okay, so env bin activate. So this is the command which you have to execute if you are not on the Windows system. So now since my environment has been activated, so now what I'll do, I will start installing the packages which are needed by me. So basically there are some of the packages which we will be making use of, and what you basically can do is you can create one this file known as the requirements.txt. So in order to create a requirement.txt file, so what you can do, you can just say pip freeze requirements.txt. Okay, so when you will hit this command, one requirement.txt file will be created. So inside of this requirement.txt, you can put all the packages that you want to install, and those packages will be installed in one go. You just have to hit enter key. So first of all, it will be bcrypt. Okay, sorry. First is bcrypt, then I'm having blinker, then I'm having click, then I'm having Flask. Okay, so there is this list I'm already having. Flask, bcrypt, and let me write down all this list. I'll pause the video for it. So I have added all the packages. So basically, if suppose you want to install these packages individually, then what you can do, you can say pip install. If suppose I want to install Flask, I will say pip install Flask. Okay, and hit the enter key. And now this only single Flask package has been installed. So there are these multiple packages which are there inside of the requirement.txt. Now if suppose you want to install all of them simultaneously, like all these packages which are there inside of this requirement.txt, what you can do, you can just say pip install -r and requirements.txt. Okay, just hit enter key, and whatever packages are there inside of this requirement.txt file, it will install all of these packages, and you will be able to use them. So basically in this project I'll be making use of all of these packages. Okay, so this is fine, I guess. All the packages have been installed, and now comes our main file, which is a app.py file. So basically this is the file in which I'll be writing my code. So this is my main entry point, and my folder structure will be basically lying inside of this src folder. So inside of this config, I'll go inside of my config file, and I will create one file over here. I'll say config.py, and I'll create one more, which is database.py over here. So basically when it comes to this config.py file, I will have some configurations which I want to apply, like the database configurations and all. So I'll say from Flask import Flask. So basically I have already installed this Flask package, and from SQL Flask SQL Alchemy import SQL Alchemy, and from Flask bcrypt, I'll import bcrypt. Bcrypt basically I'm using for encryption and all, and there is one more thing, like from Flask course, I'll say import course, and from Flask JWT extended import JWT manager. I think everything is fine, And now what I'll do, I will define my app over here. I will say define create app. So this is basically the function which I have created in order to create the app, and it is automatically suggesting me some code. So basically, first of all, I'll create an instance of my app from Flask. The Flask which I've imported from the Flask package, and here I've created the instance of my app, and then I will be configuring my database. Okay, SQL Alchemy database. So first of all, I'll say app.config. I'll declare this variable secret key. So over here you can define whatever secret you want to. So this is the variable your secret key I have declared. You can put any secret key that you want to, and then I'm having the SQL database URI. So this is your this SQL Alchemy's database URI, and SQL Alchemy track modifications have given it as a false. Okay, and then I will do one thing. I'll say app dot config the JWT secret. So here I have declared one variable JWT secret key, and this is your secret key of your JWT. So basically JWT token is used during the login process and all, and your JWT token has the vital information like whether the user is admin or whatever privileges or rights user has and everything. Okay, so this is with respect to that. And then what I'll do, I'll come over here, and I will say course, and I will initialize course over here. So after that I will bind the app to the extension. So basically there are these extensions like db bcrypt jwt and all. So I'm binding my app to all this, and then I will come over here and I will return my app instance. So I'll say return app, and before that I have to initialize these extensions. Okay, so this db bcrypt jwt whatever extensions I'm using, I have to initialize them. So I will be doing that over here. I'll say db is equal to SQL Alchemy, and then bcrypt is equal to bcrypt, and I have one more jwt. I'll say jwt is equal to jwt manager. So I have initialized the extensions. I hope I have done everything properly. Fine. db db.init app. Okay, so over here I'll bind my extensions, and okay, so now it's fine, I guess. So this is my config file. So over here I have whatever extensions I have declared over here, these three extensions. I am binding those three extensions over here with my app, and I'm returning this app. So basically this is the function create app what I have returned, and it is having these configurations and these extensions, and it will return this instance of my app. Okay, when I'll be calling this create app function. So now let me just go to the database.py, and over here I will have my database configurations. So first of all I'll do one thing. I'll say from SQL Alchemy I'll be importing the create engine, and from SQL alchemy.ext dot declarative I'll be importing declarative base, and From SQL alchemy.orm, I'll be importing the session maker. Okay, so then I'm having this database URL, and my database URL will be basically, it's a string format, and it will be SQLite colon, and you can put your this thing, your database.db, whatever is your this database URL. Okay, and then I'm having my engine. I'll say engine is equal to create engine, and over here I'm creating my engine instance, and session local is equal to session maker, and over here I'll say auto commit is equal to false. And auto flush will be also false, and I will have one more, which is bind engine. Okay, and then I'm having my base. I'll say base is equal to declarative base. So over here, when it comes to this engine, basically this we are creating the engine that will connect to the database using the provided database URL. Okay, so there is this provided URL, and the engine is responsible for managing the connection to the database and executing the SQL statements. So whatever SQL statements we will be executing via our code. And next we have this session local. So session maker function returns a new session class that will be bound to the engine. So now we have this auto commit false. So this basically ensures that the changes must be manually committed to the database. It will not automatically be happening. And auto flush we are also setting as a false, which prevents automatically flushing of the changes to the database until you are committing it. Okay, so as long as you're not committing, nothing will be getting flushed. And next we have is declarative base. So declarative base is a factory function that returns a base class for declarative model system, and all the ORMs. ORM basically always stands for the object relational mapping model that will inherit from this class only, and allowing the SQL alchemy to map the Python classes to the database table. So we declare the classes inside of the model, and I'll show you how to do that. So these are the only things which you have to understand so far. So our configurations are ready, and next what we will do, we will see how to design our rest of the folder structure. So far we are done with our configurations. So now what we will do, I will go to my app.py, and whatever we have declared over here, we will be importing those configurations in my app.py. Okay, so whenever we are importing, we have to import from the src. Okay, so now as can be seen, this app.py and src are on the same level. I mean, if you go inside of our backend folder, there is this env, which is our environment variables getting installed. We are activated this environment. There is this src, and there is this app.py. Okay, so whenever I want to import anything inside of this app.py, I'll be doing it from the src. Okay, so I'll say src dot config.config.py or src dot config dot database.py. I'll be importing it that way because their hierarchy is same. They are at the same level. Okay, so I'll say from src dot config because there is this config file. Okay, I'll be importing create app and db. I'll be importing these two things from here, and from src dot con no so far only this one configuration is fine. Then what I'll do, I'll say app is equal to create app. I'll create instance of our app over here, and our main entry point comes over here. So I'll say if underscore underscore name underscore underscore is equal to this main. Then I'll say with app dot app context db dot create all app dot run debug is equal to true. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, so this first line with app dot app context function, so what it will do basically, so we will create all the database tables if they do not exist within the app context. Okay, and when I say db dot create all, so this will create all the tables defined in the model, and we will define all the tables in the model over here. I'll show you all how to do that. And app dot run, so when I'll be hitting this, it will run my app, but it will run in the debug mode. Okay, so debug mode instance, you'll be able to see the outputs on the console and everything. We will see that everything one by one. So now what I will do, I will go to my this models, and I will create one file called as all models. So I'll say all underscore models.py. so this is my file where I'll be declaring my model. So from src dot config I'll be importing the db. I'll be in need of db over here, and I will say class user and db dot model. Okay, so I'll be declaring my models like this. So first of all, my user model will basically have the id. So I'll say db dot column, and I will have this id which is of the type string, and it will be primary key. Okay, so I'll say db dot db dot string it will be, and length of the string is like 36. Okay, so you can declare the how much could be the length will be 36, and it is the primary key. Okay, I'll say primary key is equal to true, and after that there will be the username. So user will basically have the username, and I will have the db dot, it's a column of the table. Okay, so I'll say db dot column, and db dot string, and this username will be of length 80. You can give whatever is the length you want, and I will say nullable is equal to false. That means like whenever you will be sending the parameters from the front end side, I don't want this username to be empty. I want user to fill this username. Okay, so I don't want this to be null, and I'll have the email. So when it comes to the email, so email basically will have the length of 120. I will give by default. You can give anything, and unique is equal to true. That means whenever there will be any email that will be getting entered inside of my db, I want each and every email to be unique, just like the username. If you want, you can give the same thing on the this also username. It's one and the same thing, because usernames are also supposed to be this thing unique. So I'll say nullable is equal to false. I don't want the email to be nullable. And next I'm having the password. I'll say db dot column, and I'll have this of type string only, and I'm giving the length of 128, and I'll say nullable is equal to false. Okay, so our class is ready. This will be like when I'll be executing this code, there will be table known as the users will be created in the database with these 4 parameters. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So now I have created the model. So whatever model I have created, I have to define the routes and everything for that. Okay, so routes, controller, and all these things. So I'll show you how to do that. So first of all, I'll go to this routes, and I'll say user underscore BP stands for like blueprint. Okay, so don't worry about that. And I'll say from Flask, I'll import blueprint, and from src dot controllers, I will be importing some functionalities over here. So as of now I am keeping this empty because I have to declare those controllers over here inside of the controller functions. I have not yet done that, so I'll be keeping it like this only as of now. And I will say user dot underscore bp, which is user blueprint, and I'll say blueprint. And now I will give the name to my blueprint. I'll say user underscore bp. Okay, I'll give the name of my blueprint. Okay, so this is the name of my blueprint, and now I'll be defining the routes. So user underscore bp dot route, and my first route will be basically the sign up. Okay, sign up route. If suppose user want to sign up, I will be going to this particular route, and I'll go to the methods, and methods over here basically it's a post request. Okay, so there are like requests like the post request, get request, okay, put, patch, delete. So these are some of the requests which are there, and I'll be making use of that. And over here I'll be defining my function. Okay, so I'll say sign up function. My sign up function will be going over here. As of now I have not yet declared. So basically when it comes to the controllers, let me just do one thing. Let me just define the controller. I'll say user underscore controller dot py. So this is my user controller, and I'll be importing this sign up functionality from this user controller. As of now, if you go to the user controller, nothing is defined, but I'll be defining it. Okay, so let me just quickly define these routes. I'm doing this beforehand only, but that is fine, I guess. So first route is for sign up, second route is basically for login, and third is for logout. One extra is there, it is not required. So I'll be importing this from the controllers. So this particular file of ours is ready as of now, and we have to define the controllers and services and all. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so first and foremost, we have to basically like import this sign up, logout, and login from the controllers. We have to define it over here. So I'll be going in this file, and I'll say from Flask, I'll say import request response JSON JSON is 5 and G, and from src dot services I'll be importing some functionality. Okay, so I have to define that in the services. As of now that has not yet been defined, so I have to do that also, but I'm defining the functionalities inside of the user controllers because I'll be using them over here. Okay, so over here, the sign up, logout, login, which I have imported over here, I'll be declaring them inside of this user controller, and inside of the user controller, some other functionalities will be there, which I'll be declaring inside of the services file, services folder. Sorry. Okay, so now I'll go inside services and I'll say user underscore role underscore service dot py. Okay, so this is the place where my logical part will be going. So what I will do, I will come over here and first of all, like whatever functionalities I declare over here, those will be imported inside of the user controllers, and whatever I declare over here, those will be imported inside of the user blueprint. Okay, so basically I was supposed to start from the user role, but hierarchy is like this. Okay, so first we have to declare the things inside of the app.py, then routes, and then controllers, and then services. Okay, as a beginner, things might be a little bit confusing for you all because we are trying to maintain the folder structure, and maintain the folder structure at beginner level might be difficult, but once you actually understand how the things are going, things might be a little bit easier for you all. Okay, so let me just quickly come to the user controller, and once I start defining it, you will come to know. I'll say define the sign up. I'm defining one function over here, and right now what I'll say data is equal to request.json, because I'll be sending the data in a form of JSON. That's why I'm saying data is equal to request.json. When I'll be hitting the API, that time you people will actually understand what I'm doing over here. Okay, and I'll say response comma status. I'll be taking two variables from user role dot sign up. Okay, and the first parameter going to this particular functionality is the data. Okay, so this sign up function I have to declare inside of this user roles, and there we will be building our logical part. So let's do one thing. Things might be a little bit confusing for you as of now, but if I just directly go and start building the logic inside of the services file, you will come to know now. So I'll do one thing. From src dot models dot all models, I'll be importing the user comma db, and from Flask underscore jwt underscore extended, I'll be importing the create access token. So this is basically with respect to the jwt token, and I'll say from src dot config I'll be importing the big crypt. I think this much is fine, and right now I'll be defining my sign up function. Okay, so this is my sign up function, and it will basically take let's keep only one parameter as of now. It will take the data, and we will have the try and catch functionalities. Okay, so if some while trying to execute some logical part, if it fails, it will go to the exceptions. Okay, so I'm making use of this try and catch block. So there is this try. So from the front end side, I'll be sending the username, email, and password. Okay, so I'll say if username in data and email in data and password in data. That means if I am having all these three required parameters, these like whenever users have been created, I have already defined in this user model that username, email and password cannot be nullable. Okay, they cannot be null, they cannot be null, they cannot be null. Okay, so that's why I am compulsory checking for these three parameters. And after that, what I will do, I will take these parameters. I'll say username is equal to data dot username. Then I will replicate this code. I will take the email. I'll take the password. Okay, so I am catching all these three parameters in these three variables: username, email and password. Okay, and when it comes to the password, we can't store the password the way it is in our database. If suppose user is sending the password as 12345, I can't store the password as 12345 in my database the way it is. I have to hash it so that whoever is having the access to the database, that user is not aware what is the password. Okay, so for that purpose we'll be the hashing the password. So I'll say hash password is equal to, I will make use of the bcrypt. Okay, so bcrypt is basically the package which is used to hash the password. Bcrypt dot generate password hash I will do, and I will basically the hash this particular password whatever that has been sent by the user, and I'll say decode and UTF-8. This is the functionality which will be hashing my password, and then I will create instance of my user. I'll say new user is equal to, okay, so now I'll create the new user instance. So for that purpose I'll say user, I'll give the name of my model. So this name of the model should be basically the same as what you have given over here. Okay, so I will give the same name over here, and then when it comes to this user model, there is like ID, username, email and password. Okay, so I have to give the same names over here. So first is ID, and wait a minute, let me just close all these tabs. The second is username, and third is email, and fourth is basically the password. Okay, so these four parameters are there. So when it comes to this ID, so ID has to be taken in a string format. You have to convert it into the string. So I'll make use of the UUID over here. So I'll say UUID dot UUID 4. It will automatically generate UUID for it. Why it is like grayed out. Okay, I have not yet imported UUID over here, so now it's fine. And when it comes to this username, so this username I'll be taking from here, this email I'll be taking from here, and when it comes to the password, we want to store the hash password. Okay, so I'll take this variable which will basically give me like newly created hash password, and everything is comma separated. Okay, so this has been done. So now when my this new user instance has been created, I have to commit this. Okay, so I'll say db.session.commit. I'll committing this change, but before committing I have to add it. Okay, so I'll say db.session.add, and I'll be adding this particular user. I'll add this user, and once I'm done adding, I'll be committing the change. I'll say db.session.commit, and now if this functionality has been successfully completed, then what I will do, I will give the status. I'll return some status. I'll say the return as success, and I will also send a status code over here. So status code for success is 201. 201 for creator and 200 for success. Okay, so I have created the user, so that's why I'm giving the 201. And I will give the message over here, and I will give the messages user created successfully. Okay, and I will also pass status as 201. I'll tell you all why am I doing it afterwards. So this was my if condition, and now I will go for my else condition. Okay, so if suppose for any reason these three parameters are missing, or either of these three parameters is missing, or whatever could be the reason, I will be returning this particular response. I'll say status failed, and I'll give the status code as 400. That means some client side error is there, and same I will pass over here, and message that I will pass over here is username, email, password are required. Okay, so this is my if and else condition, and now I'm having this try block, right? So I have to throw an exception if this try block fails. I'll say accept exception as E. If suppose try block fails, then there will be like this exception. So I'll say db.session dot rollback. Okay, so what is happening over here is during the execution, if suppose I am executing this code, this if condition succeeds, that means the username is there, email is there, and password is there. I am sending from the front end side. User has been added. Up till here the condition executed, that means the user is created, user has been committed, and if suppose there was one more condition down below that is failing, that means our code is failing on the way. This user has already been committed in the database. I mean, half of the code has executed and half of the code has failed. By the time like the cursor reaches over here, the code flow reaches over here, this user is already been created with this username, email, and password, as the data has gone in the database, right? And rest of the code has failed. That means this try condition has failed half of the way, but half of the data is already there in the database, but it has not executed fully. So for that purpose, this exception will be invoked. When the exception is invoked, the half of the data that has been committed to the database, we have to revert it back. Okay. So for that purpose, we will be executing the db.session.rollback. Whatever half of the code that has been executed and half of the data that has went in the database, we have to remove it. So db.session.rollback will help in that. It will remove that halfly array data. Okay. Then what I will do, I will copy this, and if the exception occurs, then status will be failed, and status code 500, and message will be error occurred over here, and I will also pass the error, and error have to stringify, and that error will be in this exception as a E we are passing. Okay, so that's why that error will be in this E. So it will tell us what is this error. Okay, so this is our sign up functionality, and now what I will do, I have basically imported this function. I have declared this sign up function. I have to import this inside of the controllers. Okay, so I will be importing this over here. Okay, so sign up. So now instead of the controllers, if you see, I'm getting the data from the request.json and passing that to this particular function. Okay, so the data is coming over here. The data will contain the username, email, and password, and it will be getting processed like this. So I'll come over here, and rest of the half of the code which I have not yet written, I will start writing it. So I will come down below. I will say return. I'll say response, and response basically json dot dumps, and whatever response I am getting, I will just send it back in a json dump format, and status will be basically the status what I am sending, and MIME type basically the application forward slash json. That means my response is in the form of a json. Okay, so now these controllers I have declared over here, and this sign up functionality I'll be importing in this routes. Okay, so if I go over here, this sign up functionality over here getting imported from these controllers, and this sign up functionality getting imported from the services. Okay, so don't get confused as of now. So let me just execute the code and show it to you all, but by that time I'll just comment out these two routes because these are not yet declared, so it will throw the error for sure. Okay, so I have commented this out, and now what I will do, I'll go to the app.py, and I have to integrate this blueprint. Okay, so for that purpose, what I will do, I'll come over here and I will say app.register blueprint, and whatever blueprint I have declared, I have to import it over here. Okay, so I have declared that blueprint over here, this user blueprint, this I have to import it inside of this app.py. So I'll come over here, I'll say from src dot routes dot user blueprint, I'll import user blueprint over here. Okay, and after importing this user blueprint, I have to register it over here. I'll say user blueprint over here, and URL prefix I will give. Okay, so I'll tell you what is this URL prefix. Users. Okay, so this is how we register the blueprints over here. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll try to execute my app, and it is saying no module Flask SQL Alchemy. So I'll do one thing, I will install it. I'll say pip install, and okay, so it has been installed. Now I'll execute. Where the hell is this error? Flask SQL Alchemy. So it is inside of the config SQL Alchemy. Okay, so there was a spelling mistake. Cannot import the logout. Okay, so as of now I just commented this out, so that's why it was showing error. Let me just execute over again. Okay, so now my app is running over here. So let me just show you all the entire folder structure. I'll go to the app.py. Okay, so over here I have registered this blueprint as users. Okay, so I'll do one thing now. I will copy this. Okay, I will go to my postman, and I will create basically the new collection. I'll say new collection. Wait a minute, I'll click on this. I will create a blank collection over here, and I will give the name as file structure over here. Okay, and inside of this file structure I will add a request. Okay, so I'll say add request, and this will be sign up. Okay, and I will paste my URL over here. I have pasted this URL. Okay, and this blueprint is this user blueprint for sign up, login, logout, whatever that is. I have registered this blueprint inside of my app.py as a user. Okay, so I'll copy this, just copy paste again /, and I want to execute this sign up. Okay, sign up API. So I'll copy this, I'll paste it over here. Okay, and when it comes to this blueprint, this sign up route which I want to access is of type post. Okay, so that's why make sure you are switching this to the post, and click on this body over here, click on raw, and select this JSON. Okay, after that we'll be passing the data in the form of JSON over here. So now I will go to this sign up function, and over here, as can be seen, I'm taking the data in the form of JSON. Okay, so I'll be declaring that JSON data over here. Okay, so as can be seen, I have just selected the JSON data over here, and what I will do right now, I'll go to my function. So let me just explain what is going on over here. So first of all, I have registered my blueprint as a user over here. This is users blueprint. I am going to the sign up route, and it is of type post. Okay, so it's a sign up, it's a type post over here, and over here it will accept the data request data in form of JSON, and I'll be sending the data in form of JSON as can be seen over here. Now, so whatever the data is coming is in form of a JSON, right? So in this, what data it is expecting? It is expecting the username. I'll do one thing, I'll come over here, I'll send my username, and I'll send my username as Aksh. Okay, and next parameter is expecting is the email. It is expecting the email. Okay, so I'm sending email also, and next it is expecting the password, isn't it? Okay, so I'll send a password also. I am sending the password. Okay, now let me just hit it. So it is saying the user created successfully. That means user has been created with these credentials. Okay, user created, status code is 201. Now let me just tell you what is going on. So I have given this username, email, and password. Okay, it has created this user. It has created this user with this specific parameters. It has committed, and when the user has been successfully created, it will send these two parameters. It will send this first object with the status code, and the message, and it will also send the status. Okay, and it is returning this particular data. So where this data is coming? So from here, from controllers, I am calling this function, isn't it? I'm calling this function, and it is returning the response and status, right? We are expecting the response and we are expecting the status, isn't it? So these two parameters, this is the response and this is the status. Okay, so it is returning these two specific parameters. We are catching them over here, response and status. So this object which was sent was this one. This was the response, and this is the status 201. Okay, so we are getting that over here. So now whatever response we are getting, we are doing the JSON dump. I mean, we are sending that response to the front end side. We will be sending that data as a response. Okay, we are doing the JSON dump, and whatever status we have sent, whatever status we have sent over here 201, it is coming over here as status, and we are sending the MIME tab as application JSON. That means whatever data we are getting over here is in the form of a JSON again. Okay, so we have created the sign up. So this is it. Let me just go to the user blueprint, and now I will be declaring the one more blueprint over here. For login, I will now show you the reverse process. I will create the login functionality over here. The way I have created the sign up, I will create the login very same way. So for that purpose, I'll come down below in the services. I'll say define login, and I will make use of the try block over here, and it is suggesting me some code, and I will also write the exception as E. I will be returning this particular status code and error and everything. Okay, so now when it comes to the try functionality, so I am expecting the email and password from the front end side. Okay, so the way I'm sending this username, email, and password, I'll be sending the email and password only for login purpose. So I'll be sending the email and password over here. Now what I will do, first of all, when I'll be logging in, I have to figure out whether the user is already there in the database or not, right? So for that purpose, what I will do, I will create the instance of the user. I'll say user is equal to, I will make use of this model over again. Okay, so I'll say user dot query. I'll be writing the query over here. Okay, user dot query dot filter by, I'll make use of filter by, I'll be filtering the record. I will check whether the specific email ID what I'm passing from the front end side is there in the this or not. It's there in the database or not. Okay, so I'll take that email dot first. Okay, so the first email what I will be encountering, I'll be taking that. So basically there is like all also. So if there are multiple email IDs which are matching, it will give the all the email IDs, but I'll be taking the very first record. So I'll say first email whatever you are getting, give me that specific user record. Okay, so once I'm having that specific user record, I will say if user and bcrypt.check the password hash. So basically I will check. Okay, so I will check over here that whatever user record you have brought, okay, so this specific user is having the password. Okay, I have retrieved this user record. That user's password, whether it is matching with the password what you are sending from the front end side. If it is matching, that means the user is correct. Okay, so that means the user is correct. Then what I will do, I will create one access token. I will say access token is equal to create access token. I will create the access token, and I will be sending the identity as user.id. Whatever user I have brought, this user is having this specific ID, right? So I'll be passing that user ID over here, and I will be generating the access token. And once that has been done, I'll be sending the status is success status code as 200, and I'll send the user message as logged in successfully, and I will also passing the access token what has been generated. Okay, so this is my if condition. Now I'll go to the else condition. What is going? Okay, so this is my else condition. So I'll go to my else condition, and if the user has user is not there or user's password is not matching and all, then I'll give the status as failed and status code as 401 and invalid email or password message I'll give. Okay, so this is like a error message. So now I'll copy this function. Now I have to go to the user controller here. Okay, and now I have to define the function for login. So I'll copy paste this only, and I will define the login. I will define the import this login function. So whatever is this login function, I'll copy this, and I will paste it over here. Okay, this has been done, and now I have to define the route, isn't it? Okay, so that's why I'll go over here, and I'll uncomment this line, and I have to import this login. whatever login function I have declared over here, I have to import it over here. Okay. So when it comes to this login route, so this is also of type post only. Okay. So now what I will do, I will duplicate this. I will duplicate this, and it's of, as can be seen over here, it's of type post, isn't it? It's of type post, and okay, let me just do one thing. I will create everything from the beginning only, and I'll show you again. So I'll copy this, paste it over here. Name of my route is login over here. Okay. Now I will go to my blueprint. I'll show it from the beginning. Okay. So this is my blueprint as users. I'll copy paste it over here. Okay. And then I am trying to log in the user. I'll copy this, paste it over here. Now I'll go to my body. I'll go to the raw data. I will select the JSON if it is not selected over here. This is my JSON data. Okay. So this is my login function. I'm requesting data in the form of a JSON. Okay. So I will accept only the JSON data from the postman, isn't it? So then I'll go to my login. Then I'm expecting email. I'm expecting the email, and I'm expecting the password. I'm expecting these two parameters from the users. Okay. So single quotes, double quotes, it creates the issue when it comes to the postman. So I signed up with this specific user, aksh@gmail.com. I will paste the same thing, and password was 123456. I will do one thing. I will give the wrong credentials. I'll give the 123456 I'll hit enter. So it is saying invalid email or password. Okay. So let me just tell you what is going on over here. So if condition was it was expecting the email and password. I have sent the email and password. Then it went and it checked for the specific user, whether user with the specific email ID is there or not. User is definitely there in the database. Then it came over here, and it retrieved that previous user's password from the database, and it checked with the current password. Okay, so current password what I have sent over here is 123456, which is basically wrong. Okay, so it is basically wrong, so that's why it failed in this condition. So that's why it went to the else condition and gave me this message: status failed, success, status code 401, and invalid email or the password. Okay, so that's why I got this specific error message. Now if suppose I am giving the right password but I'm giving the wrong email, I will hit it over again. I'm getting the same error because email itself is not there. So now I will give the right credentials, right email and right password. I will hit it. Now I got the access token. Okay, so this is the access token of what has been generated for the user, and user has been logged in. Okay, so the user has been logged in. Credentials are successful. So our backend is ready so far. And now what I'll do, I will go to the front end site and I will show you how to build a front end for this specific code what I have written. So for that purpose, so my front end is there. So I will do one thing. I will go to the front end side. I will open a new tab, by the way, and I'll do npm install. I will install all the packages that are required. Okay, and in order to run the front end, I will use this command npm run dev. So this should basically run my front end. So my front end is running on this specific local host. So now I will do one thing. I will open a new tab. I'll paste it over here, and this is the place where my front end is running. And this is some default code which is already there in the front end. So I will remove it. This is actually not required. So this is my front end site, and there's some basic css. I will remove this also. I'll save. So now this is my very basic application. So there is this unnecessary css which is there. I have removed it, and now it's all good. So now what I'll do, I will create a folder structure over here. So there is this src. So I will create one API folder over here, and on the src I will create one more components, and beside components I am having the pages. Beside pages I am having the util over here, utils, and app.css is there, app.jsx is there, index main, and there is one more, router.jsx is there. Okay, so yeah, so this is our folder structure, and we will be writing the code over here. So for that purpose, what I will do, I will go to my app.jsx. So this is our main entry point over here. Over here, I'll be writing the routes and everything. So for that purpose, I'll do one thing. I will declare the routes in the routes.jsx. So for that purpose, I will import routes from here. Then I will import route also, and I'm basically importing this from the react hyphen router hyphen dom. So this is the package I'll be using, and after that I'll be creating some pages and I'll be importing them over here. So I'll say constant app router. I'm declaring the arrow function, and it will basically have this kind of structure. So I'm defining the routes, and there is this route. I mean, like whenever there is this forward slash, right, forward slash, I want a user to go to this home page, and if suppose there is a forward slash about, I want a user to go to this about page and everything. So as of now, let's not focus on this. I will do one thing. I will go to the pages and I will create some pages over here. So first it will be like home.jsx. Okay, so you can declare the home.js or home.jsx. So jsx is basically uh, extended XML. So JavaScript extended version. So when I am saying .jsx, you can write HTML also in it. Okay, so that's why I'm making use of the JSX over here, and there is this login page.jsx is there, and there is one more profile page.jsx, and there is signup page.jsx is there. So there are these four pages which I'll be making use of. So I'll do one thing. I'll make use of the React functional component, and this is my home page. This is my login page. I'm just simply giving the names, and this is my profile page basically, and this is my sign up page. Okay, I'll be importing all these pages over here. So now again I'll go to the routes, and I'll be importing the pages. So first of all I'll say import home, then I will be importing the login page, then I'll be importing the sign up page, then I will import profile page. So this is I'll be like importing all these things, and whenever I'm like declaring over here, so first let me just go and I'll say / login, and whenever the user will go on this / login, I want this element as a login page component. I want this component to be executed. Okay, and sign up page is there, sign up page component, and home page, and there is one more, profile page. Okay, so now I have declared this function over here. I have to export it. Okay, so I'll say export default as app routes, and when I'm exporting it, I have to import it somewhere, right? So I'll be going inside of my app.jsx, and I will come up over here. I will remove these unnecessary things. I don't want this, and I'll say app router. I'm importing this over here, and I will be rendering it over here instead of this page. So there is this router does not fail to resolve the import. Okay, so I got no issue. So my app router is here. So I'll do one thing. I'll import my component over here, and it is saying key like this React router DOM whatever I've declared over here, it is not there, right? It is saying that because I have not yet installed it. So I'll do one thing. I will stop the server, and I'll say npm I React router DOM. I'll install this package because this is required in order to navigate or for routing purpose. So I'll run my server over again. Okay, so now when the sign up will be encountered, user will be going to the sign up page. What is going on? Why it is not showing? Okay, so there is this route error. Context. Okay, so there is a slight error. I have to check what is the issue. So route is there, and okay, so let me just go to the main file over here, and over here I will do one thing. I will say import browse router. I'll say browse router as router, and I'll be importing this from React router DOM, and I have to wrap my app component around it like this. And now if I just save and come over here, okay, sign up page is there. So let me just go to the routes. So if I just come over here and if I just say home page, I'm seeing the home. Okay, so let me just tell you what is going on. So whenever I come to this /home, this component will be invoked, and whatever output is there over here it is saying home. So I am seeing this text as a home. So if I say this home 12 and if I just save this, I'll see the home 12 over here. Okay, so that means my routing process is working fine now. So now what I will do, I have to write this APIs and everything. Okay, so for that purpose I will go to the APIs. I will link my backend now. So I'll say api.jsx, and when come to this api.jsx, so I'll make use of the Axios. I'll say import Axios from the Axios over here, and I'll say constant API URL is equal to, I will make use of the import.meta, import.meta.env. Okay, vite underscore API underscore URL, and if suppose this URL is not there, then it will take the local host 5000. Okay, so I'll say http://localhost 5000. So let me just tell you what is going on. So when it comes to this front end side, I will have this .env. Okay, .env, and inside of this .env I'll be declaring some env variables, and that env variable is basically this wide API URL. Okay, then I will say http://localhost 5000, and if it is not there also it will take default from here, so it's fine only. Okay, so now I'll be writing some export functions. So I'll say export export constant signup, I'll say, and this is basically the async function. Okay, so I will create this as an async function, and it will basically take the user data. It will take the user data, and this is the arrow function, async arrow function, and I will say constant, what is going on? Okay, constant export is equal to await, and I'll say Axios dot post. This is a post request over here, and I will make use of the literals over here, and API URL /users /signup. Okay, and I'll pass this user data as a payload over here. Okay, the way we pass this payload over here, right? So this payload will be basically inside of this user data variable. Okay, and then I will say return response.data, and I will write the similar function for the login. I will say login, and it will have the user data. Only this particular part is changing, as can be seen for this login. Only this part is changing. Okay, so I am changing that, and these are my two functions that has been created. Okay, so if we go inside of these components now, so I'll create two folders. One is auth folder, and second basically is layout. So when it comes to this layout basically has this one more function I will declare over here. So basically it's for representation. So if we see over here, so this is my main page. I want some navbar on the top of it. Okay, so that's why I'm just declaring this navbar. So I'll say RFC. I will have this navbar functionality over here, and so basically when it comes to the navbar, so I'll make use of the nav over here. So I'll say nav, and I will have the link. Okay, so I'll say link, and so basically there's like a link for sign up, and there is a link for login. I will give the two links over here, and whenever anyone will click on this, so let me just show you. Okay, as of now there is nothing because I have to import this inside of my app.jsx. Okay, so I'll come over here and I'll say import navbar. I'm not able to import it. So navbar is here. Okay, so my navbar is here. So let me just check. I got some error over here. The link is not defined. Okay, so if I go to this navbar, so there it is saying key link is not defined. So I have to import this link, and I will import this link from React Auto DOM. Okay, so now it's fine. That error is not there now. So I'll make your BR tag to give the break in between. Okay, so I'm having this sign up and I'm having this login. So when I click on this sign up or I click on this login, I want to go to the respective routes. Okay, so let me just close everything and show you all properly. Okay, so I'm having this app.jsx and I'm having this routes and I'm having this navbar. Okay, so whenever I'll be clicking on this sign up, I want to go to this sign up route. Okay, so I have to give the link over here where I want to go. I have to say I want to go to the sign up / sign up over here, and I have to give this link to the login. So I'll say login. So let me just say, when I click on the sign up, it is changing this to sign up, and I'll click on this login, it is changing this URL to login. Okay, so this is my navbar. So navbar is working good so far, and now what I will do, I have to design my sign up and login page. Okay, so for designing the sign up page, what I will do, I will go inside of my components, and I will go inside of my auth, and I'll create some components. Okay, so I'll say login.jsx, and I'll create one more. I'll say signup.jsx, and when it comes to this signup.jsx, it's the functional component. I'll say RFC. So this is my sign up, and I'll import, I'll make use use state over here. I'll import a use state from the React, and over here I'll be making use the use state variables. So I'll say constant username, I'll make it the use state. Use state will be variable, and set username for setting up the username, set email for setting up the email, and set password for setting up the passwords. Okay, so now what I will do, I will come to my, wait, let me just format the document. I will come over here and I'll make use of the form because I'll be taking the data. Okay, so I'll say form, and over here instead of the action there will be like on submit. On submit function will be getting invoked. So I'll make use of the h2 over here and sign up, and I'll take the input over here, and input will be basically of the type text. Okay, so input of type text, and it will be the input is basically of the type text. It will not have the name and ID. So what I will do over here, I'll give the placeholder. I'll say placeholder. I'll give the placeholder as a username, and I will basically give the value. I will give the value as the specific username. Okay, so I'll give this value as this username, and on change. So basically whenever anyone will type something inside of this input field, what should basically happen. Okay, so I will set that specific username with the help of this set username function, and I will take the user e.target.value. Okay, so whatever is the value inside of the input field, I'll be taking that input field. So let me just click on the sign up. I'm not seeing anything as of now. I'm not seeing anything as of now because it is loading this sign up page. Okay, I have to import this sign up function over here and I have to render it. What is the issue? Okay, so there is this piece of code which is missing, so I have to write that code now. So I'll go to the sign up, and I have to write one function now. So I'll say constant handle sign up, and it's basically the async function, and it will take the event as e, and e dot prevent default. So basically we type this e dot prevent default because whenever we hit enter key, our page gets refreshed. Okay, so we don't want our page to get refreshed, so that's why e dot prevent default. Let me just click on this sign up. What is going on? Sign up is unrecognized. Okay, okay, so now I'm getting this field over here. So now if I just go, so whenever anyone will be entering the data and hitting the enter key, or hitting the any button, our whole page gets refreshed. Okay, so in order to prevent that, we use the e dot prevent default. So now what I will do, I will make my API call over here. So whenever a user will be uh, signing up, I have to call some data over here. Okay, so I'll make use of the try and catch. So if there is any specific error, okay, so I'll do one thing. I will console log error. I'll say console dot error, whatever that is. It will show the error. This much is fine, I guess. And instead of the try block, what I will do, Since this is the async function, I will make use of await over here. Await, then sign up, await sign up, and I will be sending up the username, email, and password. Okay, so I will send this specific username, email, and password over here. Okay, so for that purpose I have to define the input fields over here. The input type is a text I have declared already, so I have to replicate this 2 more times. I have to format the document. So second is input type is basically the email, and it's the password, and set email, and last field is basically to set the password. Okay, so I'll say password over here, placeholder is the password, and for this placeholder is basically the email. Let me just save and come over here. Okay, Axios error I'm getting now. So because I have not yet installed the Axios, so I will do one thing. I will install the Axios. So I will do npm I Axios. Okay, so I'm having this 3 field, username, email, and password, and I also need one button. Okay, so I'll come over here. I'll have the button and is of type submit. Okay, and I have to give the text as sign up. I'm done with that. I'm having this button over here, and now what will happen whenever user will type any data in this field like the username, email, or password, that data will be getting captured via this specific function. And this function, like if suppose I'm entering the username over here, whatever is the username will be set via this function, and a value will be passed to this username, and it will be going inside of this function. Okay, sign up function, and sign up function is over here. Whatever data I'm passing, it will be going as a payload. Okay, so now let me just go to my page. I'm passing the username, email, and password. Okay, so don't get confused right now. So this is our sign up, right? I'm passing the email, username, email, and password. 3 fields are needed. Over here I am passing the username, email, and password to this function. This function, sign up function, which I've already written in the api.auth. I have written it over here, this api.auth. Okay, that whatever that email, username, password, what I'm sending as a payload, it will go to this specific path. Okay, this specific API point, and I'll be able to sign up the user. Okay, I just hope this is not confusing. So now what I will do, I will come to my front end side. I will create user aksh2. Okay, so there is this value I have to change. Okay, so I have to change this value to the email one, and this is the password. I have to set this to password. Okay, aksh2. I will say aksh2 at gmail.com. 1 2 3 4 5 6 sign up. Okay, so user has been signed up, and whenever the user is signed up, I have to show some data. Okay, so what I will do, when the user has been signed up successfully, I will navigate user. I will navigate user to the login page, so that once the user has been signed up, user can log in. Okay, and in order to log in the user, I have to use the navigate as a constant. Navigate is equal to use navigation, and in order to use navigation, I'll be using the use navigation from the React outer DOM. Okay, so now I will be going to my login page and I will be designing my login page over here. So the thing is that whatever is in the sign up, same is in the login. Okay, so I will do one thing. I will copy paste. I will change the name of the function to the login, and there are certain things which I'll be removing or modifying. Email and password is required. Use navigation I'll be making use of. Over here, instead of sign up, I'll be making use of the login, and I'll be passing the email and password only. And when the user has been logged in successfully, I'll be sending the user to the home screen. Okay, and if I just go down below, I have to remove this field of username, and I have to give the h2 as login, email and password, and over here button is basically the login button I have to give, and that has been done. And I have to set the token also. Okay, so for setting up the token, what I will do, I will go to my utils and I have to declare the utils now. Okay, so I will come over here and I will say token.jsx, and I have to declare this token part. Okay, so I'll say export constant set token, and I'll basically take the token over here, and I'll be setting up the token in my local storage. Okay, so I'll say local storage dot set item, I'll be setting up the token, and the token value I'll be picking up from this function. Okay, I'll be passing it from the other component. I'll replicate this thrice, and there's like a get token local storage dot get token if I want to get the token from the stored place, and last one will be like remove token. So I'll say local storage dot remove item, and I'll be removing the token from my local storage. So basically, let me just tell you what is local storage. Okay, so if we go over here into the application, and there is this local storage. Okay, so this is the local storage where this token and everything has been stored, this data. So we have to, we can store all the data over here. So let me just show you. We can access the local storage like this also. So this is the data of the local storage. I'll do one thing. I'll say local storage dot clear. I'll clear my local storage. So now if I just try to access the local storage, there is nothing. Okay, so previously I got data like this. Now there is nothing because I've cleared my local storage. Okay, so this much is fine, I guess. So I have declared this many things in the utils, like to set the local set token, get token, and remove token from here. So where were we? We were inside of the login. Okay, and I have to import this component inside of my login page. I will come over here. I'll say import login, Let me just see what is going on in the login. Okay, so this is my login over here. Looks good so far. Wait a minute, it will throw error over here because that this thing is not there. What else? I have to just check this thing first, and yeah, so now when the user is logged in, I have to set the local storage. Okay, so whatever functions I have declared just now, so I'll do one thing. I'll say import set token. I will take this function, and when the user is logged in, I will basically do the set token thing. So over here, what is going on? I'll say constant data is equal to await login this, and when the user is trying to log in, I'll be importing it from here. Okay, so inside of this API there is this login function. So what is happening when the user logs in? So let me just show you all in the postman. When the user is trying to log in, we are getting this specific data. Okay, this message, status, access token, everything. Okay, so we will capture the data in the response.data. I'm returning this when this login function is invoked. I'm just returning this response.data, isn't it? So what I will do, I will capture the data in this variable, and in the data I'm getting this access token, access underscore token, isn't it? I have to set that token over here. So what I will do, I will say data dot access token. Okay, data dot access token. I'm setting this access token over here, and then when the user will be logging in over here, we will be able to see that access token. So far, if I just do the local storage, I'm not seeing anything. But when the user will be logging in, I'll be able to see that data. Okay, so I will do one thing. I will create aksh3 at gmail.com. I'll give the password 12345 sign up. I'm signed up now. I will do aksh3 at gmail.com 12345 and I will just log in. So I am logged in now. I am on my home page. Okay, so my entire process was smooth. User was signed up, user was logged in. That's why I am on this. I'm seeing this home 12 because I'm on the home page. I'm on the home page because once the login process is complete, user is being navigated to the home screen. Okay, so that's why I'm on the home screen. And now if I just try to access the local storage, I am seeing this token over here. So the token has been stored. So now if suppose I want to log out, okay, so I want to log out, how I will do that? So for that purpose, I'll do one thing. I will go to my navbar. I will go to my navbar screen, and I will try to get the token over here. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll say constant token is equal to get token. I have to import that first. Import get token and remove token. Okay, I'll be getting the token and constant navigate. I will do constant navigate is equal to use navigation. Okay, so what I will do, if there is a token, then I will be showing few extra parameters. Okay, so I will come over here. I'll use the brackets, and I'll see if there is a token. Then only show this specific part. Okay, so what will happen if there is a token? Then I'll be able to click on the logout button. Okay, so far if you just see, there is this error? Unexpected. So token, I'm saying get token, local storage dot token I'm getting. What is the issue? If there is a token, so there is this error I'm getting, fail to reload, syntax error. So I think there is syntax error. Let me just format the code and see properly. I will do one thing. I will declare the function on the top. I'll say handle logout, and in the handle logout I will say remove token. I will call this function, and I will navigate the user to the login. That means once I am logged out, I want to log out, navigate the user to the login screen. So over here, so on click, I will be calling out this specific function. Why am I not seeing this specific code? Okay, so I am trying to get the token, but if only there is a token, then I'll be able to see this logout button, but I'm not seeing the logout button. Okay, it is not returning anything, that's why. So I have to return over here. I have to return over here also. Now, yeah, now my logout button is visible. Okay, so this is fine. So now if I suppose log out, user is again navigated to the login screen. Okay, so now if I say aksh2 1 2 3 4 5 6 and login, aksh2 at gmail.com and login. I am on my home screen now, and I am seeing all the functionalities. Okay, so this is how it is functioning. So I hope this is clear. So this is how we'll be writing the code for the front end and back end and maintaining the folder structure like this. So if you want, you can do one thing. You can apply the CSS and everything for this page and make it look better. So this is like a nav bar. So nav bar is having these 3 parameters. So if you want, you can just apply the style over here. I'll say style, and display flex. Everything is in one line. I'll say align items not align item, justify content space between, and yeah, now it is like fine. There are like these two, there is space between all of them, but I want this sign up and login on the left hand side. So I'll do one thing. I'll put them in one div. So I'll just cut this and paste it over here, and yeah, sign up and login is in one this thing now, and I will just apply this style, and okay, so now it's fine. It is on the single line right now, and logout button is on the right hand side. So if I want, I can just give a little bit of space over here. It is not coming, and I'm just writing the inline style over here, and I will give the margin right as 5 pixels. Okay, this much gap is fine, I guess. And if you want, you can even give the background color to this. So this is the nav bar, so I'll say the background I will give the background color as black like this, and I can give the color also. Black doesn't look good. Blue is also not looking good. See, you can give the color whatever you want to. I'm just giving this for simplicity purpose, like to show you all how the things are working and all. And I can give the margin bottom also. Margin at bottom, and I will give the 5 pixels. Okay, so I think this much is fine. People can continue with this code and modify this sign up page, login page, and everything. Okay, so you can just write the CSS for this and make it look better. But this is like a basic functionality which you can implement. So thank you for watching. I will remove this yellow color, it is not looking good. And I hope this tutorial was fun for you all, and I hope you people have enjoyed it. So thank you for watching.